Hello and welcome back to Cryptid Hauntings. We have a special episode for you tonight. It's Haunting Hour here on Halloween. I'm Mike. I'm here with my family, Chris, Pam, and Mark. And let's get started with a fun fact about yourself, Chris.
I like RC cars. I like making them go fast and explode when they hit things. It's fun.
What's your favorite RC car?
Mine, it's the Traxxas Slash. I've got one of those, and I have actually gotten to 60 miles an hour and hit a curb and exploded.
I think one of my favorite ones I've got is the Slayer, which is the nitro version of the Slash. It's a lot of fun.
They are fun. Expensive. They are very expensive.
Pam, what's your fun fact?
My fun fact is every year since 7th grade I have read 100 books.
That's impressive.
That's so many books.
Speaking of books, I'm actually writing a book called The Epic of Al, which comes out June of 2026. You guys should check it out.
I didn't mean for it to be a shameless plug segue every time.
He finds it.
Every
He
time.
finds the hole and he sticks it in.
That's what she said.
So, my fun fact isn't a shameless plug, but it probably should be.
But your fun fact is
I
shamelessly plug everything you can.
I like to shamelessly plug everything I can. There you go. No, I like board games. Board games are a lot of fun.
What's your favorite board game?
I think right now, probably either Exploding Kittens or Killer Bunnies.
Oh, so you're talking like card games?
Yeah,
just
board
traditional
Not just
board
traditional
games.
board games, yeah.
My child right now would tell you Mawapawee.
Mawapawee?
games. Monopoly.
He's got a really bad speech impediment, but he's actually really good
And Monopoly?
at Mawapawee. You need to help him count, but like he thrashed us the other night.
That's pretty funny.
No board flips?
No board flips.
I'm surprised your husband, didn't get mad.
Actually, the strategy is team up against mom, so he helps him get hotels and then lets him go.
Oh, okay.
And Monopoly.
And Mark, what's your fun fact?
We're going to carry on with the hobby collection thing. One of my other favorite hobbies is Magic the Gathering. I really enjoy the game, and it is probably my most expensive hobby.
It is my most expensive hobby, too.
Mine too.
It's good, but geez, it's expensive.
I think you got Chris into it, and Chris got me into it, and it just...
Yeah, it's just a snowball effect.
I
Yeah.
have feelings, and so there's a line I probably won't get sucked into that game. So have fun.
I drew that line for, I bought a bunch of alpha and beta stuff. I drew that line. I was like, I'm not freaking doing this. And then I got together with a couple guys at work, and it, cascaded into nonsense.
See, but the problem with me was I had issues with your uncle, and it was like, no, I'm not going to play this. This is a stupid game. Your uncle was an idiot for playing
Your
it.
uncle.
And he's not related to me.
It's not related
And-
to me.
Not related to me.
And Chris
No
is
blood.
like,
No blood.
no, you've got to play. It's a lot of fun. They've got this new commander mode out, and it's nothing like you remember with stupid. And I'm like, okay, I will play, but I'm not gonna buy a deck. And then I didn't buy a deck. And then they bought a deck for me. And then they bought a second deck for me. And then I started buying decks for myself. And
And then cards have never stopped coming in the mail.
I think there's, sitting next to Chris, there's 6 decks. And in my backpack at work, there's 10 decks. And it's disgusting.
it
My
gets
husband
bad,
was
man.
into it and gave it away to his brother, and he says he's not going to pick it up again. But
He
also-
watches us very hard. when
I
we
know,
play.
because it's a question of whether or not he actually wants to play.
He can play.
It's much like the plants in my house, where I was told they wouldn't take over my house, and
Take
Now
it
you
over.
have an atrium in your living room.
I'm waiting for an Audrey 2 to show up.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so we've got personal experiences this time for Halloween. Does anybody want to volunteer to go first?
I will go first. So years ago, we were cleaning a theater out. We were custodians there, and you'd always just feel like someone was watching you, always. At night, it just never comfortable. I was trying to go up to their second floor, cleaning their theater up there on the balcony, and I ended up having a mop bucket and me in this elevator. I started going up, and all of a sudden it just stopped. Just out of nowhere, just stopped. And then I started hearing someone laughing, like, and I swear I was in there for 20 minutes, and next thing I know, I go up, and then you guys are all standing there, and you're like, what happened? And I was sitting on the floor, and I swear I was crying. I don't remember.
You were crying.
Yeah, it was creepy, because it just started laughing at me. Just like, you're in here with me now, sucker. Like, I don't know, it was not a fun experience.
You had fairly polarizing experiences at this theater, because if I remember right, this was your first kiss too. The kiss on the cheek by that.
Yep.
No,
That
but
what? Finish your statement.
by that cute girl who was playing the princess in the play.
I don't remember what play it was.
I don't remember what play it was.
No, but the elevator, I was there for that.
Yeah.
It was in the basement, and we had just finished cleaning their practice room in the basement.
Yep, and we were going up to
And
the second
we're going
floor.
up, and Chris had moved a little bit faster than the rest of us, and we were like trying to get him to stop, and then trying to open the doors. And you were in there for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't remember how long I was
The
in there.
lights were on; it didn't shut off.
It was.
A couple of us ran up to the next floor to try to get it to call. Nothing, and then it finally just opened.
Yeah, it was not. I was in there for a while, and I remember that. And I was on the floor crying. Just because it was nonstop laughing at me. Just whatever it was just laughing the whole time.
So we can come back to the theater. There are some really interesting connections between places we've lived and that theater. I don't know if you guys remember, but we can come back to it a little bit later. We'll wrap with that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah, I remember.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Would say I've got some experiences with that theater too, where I'd say one, there's two theaters. There's Theater 1 and Theater 2, and Theater 2's newer addition to the building, and it has a balcony, and in the balcony it has a display of what is the motorcycle?
That's an old Harley, I
It's
think.
an Indian.
No, it's
No,
an
it
Indian.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a display of an Indian motorcycle, and I hated that thing because we'd have to clean the case all the time, and like we'd get in trouble all the time because there'd be fingerprints. There's fingerprints in the case. You girls aren't doing a good enough job, so like we'd go to clean it, and there would be little kid handprints
On the inside.
on the glass, but it's on the inside
I
of the
don't know if it was
glass.
a little kid. I think it was Ellen.
No, there was a small one, and then there was also
On
off
the
on the
balcony.
corner. There was a couple spots because
Yep.
in the corner there was that.
Yeah, on the
that
back
gl-
side.
There
Yep.
was the globe that was encased that also had it, and then
Yeah.
on the balcony there was handprints and a face smudge, and it was a little kid smudge. I'm not gonna lie, I had my cousin with me one of the times we were cleaning it, and we were trying to figure out how to clean it. We dangled him up over. And
No, that was me, because we did it with me one time too.
We did it with a cousin too.
Yeah,
and
it was
we
me.
couldn't reach it. The only way that we could reach the spot or clean it is we'd have to get the scissor lift from the stage,
Yeah.
and so we could only do it every once in a while because we had to have the person who could use the scissor lift.
Because you have to be licensed or have an operation license.
Certification.
Yeah,
But
certification.
the other problem too is they would also use the downstairs space as a gallery,
Yep.
and so it had to be cleared out of those displays in order for us to bring it through.
Yep.
But there was always hand smudges everywhere. Yeah, I'd say
And then their practice room, there's always little kid handprints after we clean everything on the very top.
So I'm not convinced it was little kids.
it's not little
It's
kids,
not.
but the
I think it was a small woman.
that's possible. But I also don't think what was in because the story. is that there's an elderly woman who's a volunteer. I don't think that I think is a story that they would tell to try to placate and pacify these kids who were volunteering and working at the theater, to be like, oh, whatever. But there was definitely something there, because there was times in theater too where I would go to turn on the lights so we could blow down the theater after a show, and there'd be a dude in a full tux with like a bolo bow tie just standing there staring at you.
Bolos and bow ties are very different.
It's like, and I know the bolo's the slider one, but like it's that thin,
Yeah.
The string bow tie.
the string bow tie. It's
Yeah.
not the traditional, but like, yeah.
Like Colonel Sanders.
Yes.
Mississippi bow tie.
Yeah,
Yep.
and just creepy stuff.
Very
always there.
creepy
and,
stuff.
And you'd always feel
I-
like you're being watched.
I mean,
Always.
this is a good time to plug in our Facebook page for Halloween. I can add on that picture that Mom's friend got in the practice room of an actual ghost.
Throw it in there.
It's weird.
Let her done. I think that's the old lady, the lady. I think that's Eleanor in that picture. It's got like a green blue hue to it.
I don't think Eleanor's real.
I don't know.
I'd say I definitely believe it's haunted, but I don't think Eleanor is what's haunting that place. I think there's something else, and Eleanor's been made up to try to make the children who work there a little bit
Feel
more
comfortable.
Yeah,
Oh, is this the pants
That's-
photo?
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I remember the pants. We all worked at this
Send that to me.
this theater at one point or another growing up. I worked there. I think it was 10
Yeah.
or 11.
You were like 11 or 12.
No, because we were down in
Here.
here
Then
by
11.
then. So it was like 10. It was early. It was like 10. Making popcorn and selling candy, and then cleaning up after the shows at night. And there was always weird things happening. I was there before the renovation and after the renovation. So
And so then I worked there for like 4 summers doing all sorts of volunteer work for the like stage crew stuff, and then I worked 2 summers doing janitorial.
that was what, almost five
But I was
or
like
8 years later.
Yeah, I was 13,
Yeah.
14 until about 16, 17. And then I also helped do some stuff in the costume shop because her mom ran the costume shop.
Right.
And the costume shop's got some creepy stuff that happened down there all the time too.
And the multiple locations, because it used to be in the sub basement,
Yep.
and then it got moved across the street, and then it's now back. It's in the base, not the sub basement, but the basement.
I haven't been there for 20 years, guys.
Yeah,
It's been a
it's,
long time.
I'd say it's been 15 years.
I don't step foot in there because
I was there.
I
I
just-
was there
I
a
just
couple
don't.
years ago. It's still
I mean,
kind of
still
creepy.
creepy.
I was in their amphitheater for a concert 2
The
years
amphitheater
Yeah,
is
it's
totally
so-
different.
it's
Totally
not haunted
different.
though.
Yeah.
It's not. There's nothing over there.
I
It's
wonder if
always
they
just
still
in the
have
main
that
building.
spot in the main building that if you touch the wall where it's clearly got an electrical arc,
It gives you
you
the
little
zap.
buzz.
Little zappy zap.
I know, that's an interesting story, Chris. Like, the laughing, I think it goes back to what we'll talk about at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's next?
So, my story happens at my house, just the parents' house where we're living now. I was doing the bad habit of smoking at the time, and I would sneak out the front door to go smoke in the middle of the night. And I wouldn't stand next to the door or anything, next to the garage door or anything. I would go down to the road and smoke near the road and then come back up and put my butt in the garbage can. But while I'm smoking at the road, we've got a lamp just... we've got 2 lamps on the road. One of them is just right in our yard, and one of them is down at the other end of the yard. Or not the yard, the end of the road, the other end of the road. And one night I kind of was looking around, and there's somebody standing under the other lamp. He's just standing there staring at me. And it's like he's far enough away that he's not bothering me or anything. And then the next night I go out, have a cigarette, and he's closer. And it looks like the same dude, just kind of this black mass. And I'm thinking nothing of it, just some guy having a cigarette at the same time I am. So I change up my habit, go an hour later, and same guy, even closer, is, this time I can see him, and he's kind of just this black voided form, and I can see him, and he's closer. And then the next night I didn't go out because I'm scared at this point. This guy keeps getting closer and closer. I didn't know what it was. And I start hearing things move around outside my room. I have kind of food storage, and so I kind of hear stuff move around, and I'm freaking out at this point. The next night, I couldn't hold the Jones back, so I went out, and he's gone. He's not there. I enjoy my cigarette. I enjoy a second one. I go back inside, and I lay down, and I turn to go to turn off my light in my room, and there's this black mass just standing in my doorway, and I just creepiest feeling that it's him, and I scream fairly loud that night.
The primordial scream.
Mark has stories of my I think that you were out of the house by this point.
I was going to say, was that the night you woke us all up?
That was the night I woke us all up.
No, I don't even think you were. Oh,
I
you were
was there because you were living in upstairs because it was right after
in
you were
my old
divorced.
bedroom. Yeah.
And
I was sleeping in the basement at the time, and Mike had the old room because I was
he was
behind the
sleeping on the
couch.
mattress behind the couch.
Oh, that's
and I had your
Yeah.
flintlock under my mattress, and I had pulled that out to use as a bat.
Because Dad didn't know about it. I had the mini bat, and then you.
I ran to the street to get him in my truck and pull my pistol because I thought somebody was murdering him.
So for context, that's not the first time I've just blood curdling scream. The first time I blood curdling scream was everybody's living at the house for various reasons, what have you. And I woke up and I saw a shadow person in my closet, and I scream, and they all came to my protection.
We thought you were being murdered.
I ran out to the street in my underwear.
Well, it sounded like someone was getting hurt outside, though. It was coming from outside.
It was the craziest scream ever because, yes, initially I thought it was outside, and that's why I ran outside originally.
And say, because I had grabbed that and a bat and met Chris at my door, and Chris was like, "What's going on?" And I would take this, and we were going ahead to the other side to get Mike, because Mike was on the other side of the basement.
And he was crying, and we're like, what the hell's going on?
Because that was my check, was like, let's make sure the basement's okay, and then move upstairs and see what's going on.
Yeah.
It was just full on protection mode. I'm going to kill anything that comes close to me.
Yeah, it was. That was crazy.
That's my scary story. Kind of shadow person that seems to be following me around.
Glorious. All right, Pam.
I'd
let's
say
hear it.
I've got a few. I'd say we've covered this before. I very much so believe in the paranormal. I think we've had, or at least I've had experiences my whole life. In my great grandma's house, I remember just hanging out in her house. It never felt malicious. Her house was always very light.
It was a very loving house.
It was a very loving house.
I have so many questions, though. That's a side
Oh, me
tangent.
too.
But there are times where you'd be sitting in her living room, and in her living room, open, big vaulted ceilings, and then she had this nasty brown recliner from the 70s, and behind it was a mirror. And being in that living room, you kind of like, when somebody's in the room, you have that feeling. You'd feel like someone was in there, and if you'd look just right in the mirror, you would catch somebody walking across from her. There's a back bedroom to the kitchen all the time, passing back and forth.
Is that the mirror down in the basement now?
No.
Okay.
No, but sometimes you would catch things in the mirror in the kitchen, and those ones weren't always happy things, but that was aiming towards the back bedroom where an individual was living who was doing things they shouldn't be doing. They're
Yeah,
very
that's-
much so
That's very
into
different.
Satanism is different.
Yeah.
But that mirror is in your mother's bedroom.
That
I've seen that mirror move.
I don't go near that mirror
Yeah.
for reasons.
Like the little flowers on it.
It's
I've seen them
hibiscus
move.
flowers
Yeah.
and flamingos.
Yeah, I've seen them
Yeah.
move.
I just because of
Yeah, I don't go in there.
I don't like that mirror.
no.
I don't like
that
that
and the
mirror.
Rudy head. I don't go in
I
there.
don't know where the Rudy head is anymore.
I think we chucked that.
I think it finally did get chucked.
Oh no!
We used to taunt you with
That was an antique.
But no, so there's that. Did you know there was also a crystal ball?
Yes.
Did you know about the crystal ball?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't.
So great grandma's mother had the crystal ball, and she would tell that she always knew where her children's were because she would just look into the ball and it would tell her.
But there you go.
And so and then I've got other experiences in other houses where we're growing up. There was one where I know basements are creepy just because it's a basement. I don't know, just in nature. But my mom sewed on the side. She was a stay-at-home mom, but sewed for extra cash. And there would be times where she would be gone and you would hear her machines. And her machines aren't like those little tiny tabletop. They are that industrial couple horsepower motor. So like,
God, waking up to those I'm glad she doesn't sew anymore because like there'd be times where I was sleeping and it's 5 in the morning.
and it sounds like it's gonna fall through the floor.
Sounds
So,
like a tank
they're
is
not,
running
They're
through
not
the floor.
quiet, but there'd be many a times where it's like, oh,
swear
I think,
it's on.
I think mom's home, and you'd go to open the basement door, and nothing is on, and you would be like, oh shit.
Something's
Just because
here.
that basement was just so creepy. And then periodically you'd hear this old lady talking and you'd think it'd be this relative of my mom and you'd be like, oh, why is she here? Nope, just a disembodied old lady voice.
And that connects us to the thing we're going to talk about at the end with the theater. Because it's the same basement.
I know, and it's so weird.
The things that loop back to that basement.
Oh man.
Are we still stuck in that basement?
I don't know.
Is this real?
Simulation. No.
So Mark is the only one that hasn't had a chance to share his experience. So we'll have Mark share his experience and then go back to the basement.
The basement.
The
Dun,
basement.
dun, dun.
It's not.
So for me, one of my most terrifying experiences, it goes back to that thing that you guys covered in the first episode, the lady in white, but only not in the same area.
He's going to be telling it not from the mountain area, but it's somewhere closer.
Yeah, so in the valley we live, next to the lake we live by, there's this urban legend of a lady and her husband who were married and were heading home from their reception, and the car crashes into a cornfield. She does not survive. From then on, no, he does not survive. She runs to the road to
get help.
get help and is hit by a car.
Yeah.
Now, is this in that small town?
Yes.
Okay, then she's not getting help.
No.
but-
But she's running to the road
To get maybe find somebody to get help.
Right. But it's always foggy, like, and she's in her wedding dress, so lady in white.
She's a lady in white.
I always thought this story was kind of BS, right? It's just another lady in white story. Our uncle had given us an account of this, and I tease him and tell him he's full of it. And then one night, I'm bombing down to my cousin's house. I'm going way too fast for the road. All of a sudden, I come up over an overpass, and I'm dropping down into the area where this supposedly happens, and the fog just is there. It doesn't roll in. It hasn't been there. It's just there, right? I flip off my high beams, so it's just the fog lights and the low beams, and I see the lady in white out in front of my truck. And I'm going so fast I couldn't slow down to stop, and I felt her roll under the truck as I ran her over. Slam on the brakes, get out of the truck. There's no damage on the truck. There's nothing in the road. There's just a thick fog and a heavy feeling of like dread. And I get in the car and I rush to my uncle's house, and I'm like panicked, and I'm like, this happened. And he's like, don't worry about it. It's just the lady in white. And, that's what it was. Just the lady in white. There was no body. There was no accident. There was no damage to vehicles. Like, just a terrifying experience.
Well, just that area is creepy.
The whole area.
Just that area is creepy.
So what makes you think this lady who survived the initial corn crash, what makes her relive this experience?
Because she's hit by a car in that.
Oh, is she hit by a
yeah,
car?
she's hit.
So she goes from the cornfield to the main road.
And so that's what's happening. It's a repeat, of that night.
Okay.
She's reliving that experience and pulling us into
See,
it.
you didn't say that, and so I was
he
a
did.
little confused.
I think I breezed across it. I did say it, but I breezed it.
He
Sorry.
said the husband died in the cornfield. She
And
runs
she ran out to the road,
road.
and then I interrupted, and it was my fault. I apologize.
It's all good. We got there in the end.
That whole area is creepy. There's all sorts of.
There's a house down there that's like super freaking haunted. There's
no
a
longer-
fort that's not far from that area that has a whole bunch of stuff. There's a pump house down there.
Where's the fort?
The fort is about a mile away from the marker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Now, we had
There's a church.
Yep, the
The
church.
church is creepy.
the church. Oh Lord, the church. But it's only in the new edition. The old site's fine.
New edition. The edition's what, 40 years old?
I don't know.
Well,
The couple stories I've heard
80
is
years old, I don't know.
it's old.
They redid it in the 70s.
Is the chapel.
Yeah.
So
Well, then our grandmother's house was always haunted.
Yeah. That whole area is just filled with
all
Stuff.
sorts of stuff.
their legend of Indian burial grounds. Go shoot Indians. There's Indian writings up in the mountain.
Not anymore. They've all either been shot or taken away.
That's just.
It's really disappointing.
Yeah, because I remember going up there and looking and seeing those as kids, and then going back to those same areas. They've either been, as he said, cut out or shot out because people will take them or shoot at them.
Welcome to Redneckville.
Yep, that's what happens.
Yeah, so that's my experience with one of my most terrifying experiences, because I literally thought I'd ran somebody over.
Creepy stuff. I think we're going to do a couple of episodes just here in Utah, because there's some pretty good places that are haunted. I mean, even just personal experiences. We could go on personal experiences for hours.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I got a few more from the house, the couple houses
Yeah,
that I lived in. On the one that most recently where your screaming experience. I've got some stuff from there and some.
Yeah, me too.
well, there's always
Previous
stuff
house.
moving at that house, always moving. Never in the same spot, and then you'd always see shadowy figures out front during the middle of the
People
day.
in blue in the back.
Yeah, people in blue, red,
The little kid running in front of the windows.
Sure.
all the time.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
He all the time would get up to
Grab
open
the
up the
door.
door because there's somebody running in front of the door. No.
So he had some stuff too when we lived with us the last time before he passed.
Yep. But back to the laughing in the elevator. So just outside that elevator is a circus toy display.
It's elaborate.
Very elaborate.
So when it was put in, it was up on, at this point in time, it would have been on the 3rd floor, just outside the elevator.
Well, their main floor, second floor,
Yeah.
right? And then
Basement.
Basement. It's now been moved. There's a museum that's right next to the theater, so it's now
they
housed.
took it to the
Yeah,
museum.
it's now
It's now
housed
the
in the
museum.
museum. But when this happened, it was in the theater on that second or third floor. How you're counting
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about this circus replica display is there was a room in the house we were living in.
And we were
We were not
never allowed
to
in
go
there.
in. Mischievous young Mark picked the lock one day.
because it was weird because it was in the basement and then
My bedroom was in the basement.
Yeah.
it was just open
this room creeped the
unfinished
shit out of
basement
me,
and then
right?
there was just a door.
Yep. And so I picked the lock one day and went in, and guess what was in this bedroom?
It's the circus display.
This circus display.
That's where it was
In the
from.
theater.
That was from the theater.
the theater.
It was in the. That's the owner who donated it. Is the people
owner of
who
the house we
owned the
lived in.
house, and they stored it in this room that was locked, and we were told we could never go in there.
So they took it from the house to the theater.
When
Yes.
when the owner died, they donated it to the theater, and that's
So it brought something from there over there.
Oh, sure.
I'm
sure. I don't think clowns are creepy, but that room was so
Clowns are creepy.
Clowns are creepy.
I don't fall into the creepy clown. I think there's some
I have 90s trauma from it and stuff. but-
there's a cultural 80s 90s trauma with it and Gacy whatever. I don't think clowns are creepy, but this room was freaking creepy.
yeah, but so that all the weird stuff that happened in that basement of that house, they moved that display from that sealed room into that theater. And I hadn't been there very long before you had your experience.
Yeah, that's
That's also the stairs that you took a gainer down.
yeah.
Oh, multiple times. But no, like when they brought it in, your sister and I like looked at it and we were like, this looks really familiar. And then we did some asking and it was, oh, I'm not cleaning that room. Like, Jerry can do that. We are not touching that room.
Yeah, it makes sense because that thing's creepy.
Yep, that was in the bedroom next to where I slept for years.
Did you ever hear any laughter or anything around it?
There was a lot of stuff at that place. Like, I was young enough, and it's been many, many years, so it gets blurry for me.
I just remember the old lady. There was an old lady who talked in the basement,
Yeah.
and the sewing machines would go off.
I don't. Yeah. It's a lot of, lot of funness.
We
Yeah,
also
that-
had a hard time keeping the basement door closed because we would swear we would close it.
And it never
It would
closed.
open.
Well, that's how you fell down
That's
the
how you
stairs.
fell down the stairs the
It
one
was-
time. Was we all swore we
Yeah.
shut the door because
Oh,
we
yeah.
got in trouble because you were little and there were cement steps.
Yeah,
That
you-
explains a lot.
well, it's like you've fallen off the pile of mattresses. That explains
That
so
explains
much.
tons. I mean,
Box,
why am I the way I am?
coat hangers.
Coat hangers.
All sorts of stuff.
I forgot about the coat hangers.
How do you forget about the coat hanger?
Chris,
Is
I fractured my skull several times.
It's called a concussion. Anyways, those are some of our personal and creepy experiences. We've got plenty more, and we'll filter them in as we go.
So check out our Facebook page, Cryptid Hauntings. We're gonna upload that picture of the dance room, of the ghost in the dance room.
Request that you give a description of what they're seeing
Yeah.
and what it is, because
Just it's a weird
it's an
picture.
interesting picture.
It's a
It
weird
is.
picture.
And then any other last comments, questions, or concerns?
Question, cons, or concerns?
That's how I went to my classes.
What is this, a job interview? No, we're good. I think this has been a fun night.
Yep.
Okay. Happy Halloween, you guys. Thank you. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Cryptid Hauntings. I'm Mike, also known as M. Gardner. As you should know by now, I've written a book, and it will be coming out June of 2026. I would like to share with you a passage from this book, if I may. His eyes were heavy with sleep. Al got a sudden shock as something licked the bottom of his feet. Moving slow as not to startle it, he propped himself up onto his elbow, which caused him a lot of pain. To his surprise, what was licking his feet was a large, multicolored mountain lion. It was bigger than the ones he had seen in the zoo. It was tan and brown and looked like a calico cat. Al's stomach fell about 10 feet. He was petrified with fear. What was he supposed to do in this situation? Trying not to make sudden movements, Al slowly laid down on his back. His mind blank. Al thought the best course of action was to reach out his mind to see if this majestic creature would mean him any harm. "You are not a normal angel," Al heard a gruff voice say in his head as soon as his mind touched the cat's. "No, I'm not. How can I understand you?" "I'm a Pantera. Any creature of power can understand me." "Are you going to hurt me?" "No, I just needed to get your attention. You may look at me now if you wish." The Pantera purred. That is just a small interaction of the Pantera, a god from another world that El interacts with. El is a young Nephilim whose parents sell his soul before he's born. He is then thrown from the human world into a world of monsters, angels, and demons that he knows nothing about. His one goal, the one thing driving him to face this world, is his soul. Where is it? Where can it be found? Would you brace hell and back for your soul? Come with me on this journey and see what lengths El will go to find out where he belongs in the world.